Do you see that breaking down in sort of every facet of public life right now? Like for a moment before we started, we were talking about the media, and it seems that mainstream media norms are crumbling, and we have activists that are now masquerading as journalists. This is a huge problem.
Well, for a very long time, in a number of different professions, there were sort of guild rules. That is, I have to act as a professional or I will lose the respect of my colleagues. And that respect comes from doing things the right way, not taking positions that are correct according to the liberal or conservative catechism. It's doing things the right way. It's actually doing real reporting. Instead, both sides are substituting what Stephen Colbert called truthiness, which is there's an essential truth that exists irrespective of the facts. And the facts are not evidence, they're examples. That makes a world of difference. You're quarreling with my examples. I have other ones. Well, no. If you say something that's not a fact, that means you're not a professional. You should be embarrassed. That's what we're losing, is those norms of professionalism.
Where do you think that started? Or when do you think it started?
The most famous incident was Dan Rather and some producers at CBS with the letters from the Alabama National Guard about George W. Bush. And the letters were provided by someone, he said he'd found them in some files. But when you looked at them, it was pretty clear that they couldn't have been done on an IBM Selectric typewriter. They were proportional font, they had the wrong size footnotes, and they should have backed off. They made a mistake. They didn't, they doubled down and said, well, but there's an essential truth here. And so what happened was, and this is the origin of the pajamas media, the CBS producer said something he thought was true that turned out to be true in a way he didn't expect, which was, who are you going to believe? CBS News or some guy in his basement wearing pajamas? Well, it turns out that the guy in the basement wearing pajamas is pretty good at fact checking. And so it didn't start there. But that was a catalyzing moment where people said, I mean, CBS News, Edward R. Murrow, this is as professional as it gets. And they substituted their own ideological judgment for any sort of concern about facts.